All right, so starting off, you need to submit these individual images so that I can see the metadata to give you credit for these. So right now you don't have any credit for this because you just turned in the PDF and didn't turn in your individual images. All right, so this is the proof for your book, and you have your name here. And then you talk about the provenances and say that there still exists a lot of ancient buildings. Some of them are protected very well, and this gives people the feel of ancient China. So if that's what you're documenting in your work, I want you to think about and write about why you care about this feeling of ancient China and how you want to take the viewer on this journey with you, right? You're just right now like telling us that what this is, but I want to know why you're doing this, why you're creating these images. And then I think these images deserve their own page in a lot of sense because as we look here, we're kind of moving down the river and it feels kind of like mystical and mysterious. And then to compare that to this building doesn't seem to quite line up. So I would have these on separate pages so that we're not trying to compare or relate how these are connected. Then they can be a little bit more spaced out. Same as we move through these. And then this image is really different as you're kind of creating a mosaic with it. And I think it's quite beautiful what you've done, that you're splitting this image up. The image is already very chopped up because of the light and the dark with the tree and the shadow. And then you creating a mosaic on top of that, I think is really beautiful. But it's the only image like that. Yeah, it's the only image like that. So it doesn't really work within the series unless you want to make more images like that. And I think that is your interpretation of what you're seeing in these spaces. And it's very valid for you to include images like that. But we need to see more than just that one. And then moving through, you're starting to include people. This is the only image so far that's included people. And then we have some detailed shots. And the detailed shots can be facing each other like you have here. It can be on the same page because we do start to compare one to the other. We compare the texture and the shape of one to the texture and shape of the other. So these are images that could be paired together. All right, and then we have a tree of some sort with all these little balls on it. So we kind of move through that in an interesting way. You have the bridge. This feels much more static than the other images. It doesn't have the same depth to me. It feels more ordinary than the other images feel more unique. This image doesn't fit with your current artist statement when you're talking about the architecture in ancient China. But if you want to expand that to be about the journey that you're going on, then including these detail shots like you have there work. And this image is really beautiful. The building's quite interesting there, like an outdoor greenhouse. But I'm curious how that's related to ancient China again. So let's explore that a little bit more. And then it looks like we're looking up through a couple of buildings to the sky. Here's an older building again down the river, and this looks like an older maybe light fixture or something. So what you have right now is a good variety of images. I think you need to separate them out a little bit more, and you really need to refine your artist statement so we know why you're taking these images, what you want to communicate with us as a viewer. And then lastly, you have to turn in your images so I can see the metadata in order for you to get any credit on this.